What's up guys, it's me Nero, and today I've got a really good video and it's going to be called the console killer build. We're going to be building a PC here that's going to be on par with current gen consoles such as the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's going to perform on par or maybe even a bit better. We'll see about that at the end of the video. It's going to cost the same. All these parts were bought off store shelves. These are not parts we had before. These are not parts that were lying around in my house. These are parts we went out and bought off store shelves. It's going to cost the same as current gen consoles. It's going to perform the same. It's going to be amazing. The first build, not the build, but the first item we've got is the Eczema Tech mid-tower case. It's a really good case. It's a very small case. It only costs $25. You can mount a 120 or a 240 fan right there if you want. We don't really recommend it for this build, but you can do that. It only comes with one 120 at the back, which is more than enough for the build we're doing right now. Has a lot of cutouts for cable management, which I like. Comes with the zip ties and the screws and whatnot. It's a very simple and minimalistic case, and for 25 bucks, what can you expect? It was more like $24.43, so it's a very good case for the price. And next we've got the EVGA 400 watt power supply. We went with EVGA because of obviously the high quality products that they make. This was $23.70. Very cheap power supply, very high quality power supply, and 400 is more than enough for the build we're doing. Next we've got the RAM and the hard drive. The RAM costs $23.70. The hard drive cost $44.43. Very cheap parts, 4 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte hard drive. And now we've got the beast of it all, the 750 Ti, the Asus 750 Ti. We got it for $125.90. It's not the greatest deal. You can get a better deal, or you can even get a better graphics card. I think it's just time and all that stuff. We just had to buy this card, and it should be a really good card. You've got HDMI, 2 DVI ports, 1 VGA port. It only uses a 6-pin power connector. Doesn't take too much power. It performs good, cools good. You can overclock this card if you want, and it's a really good card. For processing, we've got the FX 6300 6-core processor. A lot of games nowadays are using multi-cores, and this is going to be a beast for games on a budget. Obviously, this is going to be a really good CPU, and that we got for $88.90. which is a really good price. Right here we've got a basic Asus Micro ATX motherboard. We're not going to be doing much overclocking here with the CPU, maybe with the GPU, but for this video we're not going to do any overclocking at all. It comes with 4 USB ports, 2 USB 3 ports, DVI, VGA, and all those good stuff. And that only cost us $57.76. So the total of all this was $388.74. So that's actually a bit cheaper than your current gen consoles. Right here we're just building the entire PC. So I'll talk about the problems we ran into and what we're going to be doing with this build. For the most part, the build was pretty smooth. It was just the beginning with the motherboard placers and the motherboard screws. Well, I don't think it's the motherboard actually, it's the case placers and the case screws that came with the Eczema Tech case weren't the highest of quality. I think I actually broke a screw trying to screw it in, which is pretty bad. And but yeah, overall at the end we did get it, and it did screw in place, as you can see with this video. Right now we're just putting in the RAM and all that. So remember guys, the whole build came out to $388.74. I think a console these days are $399. So it was a bit cheaper. We're not going to be adding the price of an operating system in this, as a lot of people have different tastes in operating systems. You can get the Steam OS for free, you can get Ubuntu for free, you can get Linux for free, you can add Windows for like 50 bucks. So we're not really going to be adding that into the cost. Same thing with the PS4 and the Xbox. You know, you got the $50 yearly subscription that you got to do, and we're not going to be adding all that. It's just the base price of the console and the PC itself, which is $399 for the console and $388 for this PC, which is rounded up, it's $400 at the end of the day, right? So yeah, as I said, the case is a really good case. For 24 bucks, it's a really good case. It's just the screwdrivers and the motherboard placers that we kind of did not like. Very low quality. The power supply, obviously very high quality. It's all we need for the graphics card we're using and the CPU we're using, and for also 24 bucks, it's a steal. I know some of you guys might be rolling your eyes at the graphics card we've got, but with the time and all that, we had to get that card. And maybe you guys could have waited, get the card for a bit cheaper, or wait and get another card, a better card for the same price. You guys could do that, but we didn't really have the time, so we went with the 750 Ti. The 750 Ti is still a really good card. It has 2 gigs of GDDR5 VRAM. You know, it goes the full way with 2 DVI ports, 1 HDMI, so you can put you can have a 2 monitor setup with this thing. And remember guys, PS4 and Xbox One, they only run games for the most part at 30 FPS, unless it's Call of Duty or a racing game. Those are the only exceptions. They either run games at the highest to medium settings. I think textures and stuff like that are like at the highest settings, because the PS4 has like 5 gigs of VRAM, so textures are usually the highest of settings. The rest of the stuff are like medium settings is what I've researched, so that's pretty much what we're gonna go for with this PC in terms of game settings. Actually, we'll probably put the anti-aliasing up a bit with this card. I think this PC can handle anti-aliasing. And I think for the most part, for most games, I think this PC should be handling at 40 to 60 frames per second, depending on the game, obviously. It's not going to be taking a lot of power. Actually, at the end of this video, I'll show you how much power it's consuming, and I was actually really surprised. It is not power hungry at all, this PC. It's really good. And remember guys, it goes the full way. You got how many you got 3 USB 3.0s, you got 5 USB 2.0s, you got the HDMI, the DVI, the VGA, and you got all that stuff for the same price as a console. You also have the 1 terabyte RAM. Sorry, not 1 terabyte RAM, that would have just been crazy. You got the 1 terabyte hard drive, you got the 4 gigs of RAM, you got a high quality motherboard, you got a high quality power supply. Everything is high quality, and you can expect this PC to last pretty much forever, as long as you don't drop it or something. It's a really good PC. So yeah guys, the build is coming to an end, and you don't have to hear me talk a lot longer. We're gonna see how this thing performs soon. The only thing I didn't like is, see that the CPU wire running right through the middle of the whole thing, and it's bright yellow. I didn't like that. The CPU 4-pin connector wasn't long enough, so we had to put it right through the middle. I wish also the cables were all blacked out, which would have made this whole build look a lot nicer. But other than that, I mean, it was a really good build, and we had fun doing it. Now let's go into performance. Alright guys, so just finished testing all these games. I tried to play as many 2015 titles as I possibly could. I put Battlefield 4 in there just so you can compare it to Battlefront 3. It would just be a bit worse, I guess, since it's a newer game, but again, it's handling it at a really awesome frames per second. All the games were tested at medium to high settings, no MSAA on. Most of the games had anti-aliasing on at times 4 to times 8, except Witcher 3, which we didn't use anti-aliasing. And here are the idle temps of the PC, and here are the load temps of the PC. As you can see, the temps are really good within the case, CPU, and GPU. We can even do some overclocking if you wanted, and really happy with all this. It performed good, as you guys can see. If you guys want to see the actual gameplay, just click the links below and I'll have the links there. Really enjoyed doing this build. Hope you guys can leave a comment below. Did you enjoy it? Subscribe and like the video. Really had fun doing this. Really proud of the numbers too. So I can officially call this computer the console killer, the peasant killer, whatever you want to call it. I hope with this video I have ascended some of you to the master race. Yes, the PC master race. And the perks of being in this master race, you can upgrade this computer whenever you want, whenever you have the money. You can do that, make it faster, make it play games even better. And yeah, guys, hope you guys have ascended and have a fun ascension. And yeah, take care, peace out.